Hi everyone, I'm Dave from the DaveForsythBand. Thanks for joining one of my gear tip series. Today we're taking a real big step back in time. I've got this DigiTech, it's a limited edition GSP 2101.
Have you ever had one of those effect pedals that you just absolutely loved, but it went down on you? I have that with this.
It was made in like 1995, but I'll tell you, I love it. It sounds great when it's working. It has taken a beating over the years. It's been on the road a lot. It's seen a lot of different countries as well.
It's very similar to all the artist series. This is actually the limited edition one. It had gone down and I left it down for quite some time. Replaced it with different pedals, tried different effects, that kind of stuff, and nothing really kind of came up or rose to the quality that I really liked in this one.
One of the big reasons is it has tubes in it for the preamp, which sound really good, and it also has some presets that are nice and warm and tight. The actual encoder went on it. I know that sounds really freaky and you think, okay, the thing's done. The reality is the encoder looks like a volume control. It's really not a whole lot different than that, and it's easy to change in one of these.
So today I'm actually going to repair it. I do use some soldering techniques, which I also teach in one of my other videos. If you watch the one on repairing guitar pots, I actually go through which soldering gun I use, the solder, the width that I use to get the old solder off, and the technique on how to do it.
These things lock up and everybody thinks they're gone, when really it's just a battery that's gone, or it's the tubes that are gone. There's a few tools you need, not a lot. You need a screwdriver. I have a pair of clips to just snip things. You need a nice little handy wrench to get the mod wheel itself off, some solder, and you need an Allen key to get these front screws out. Although this thing looks scary when you look at the front of it, because of all the controls, you think who would ever get inside this thing. But I'll tell you, they laid it out really well. It's easy to work on. So I just wanted to show you a few things. Here's the tubes I was talking about. They're over on the one side. You literally just have to take one screw out. This little bracket comes off and you can replace those tubes. They're 12AX7, standard preamp tube in many amplifiers, very easy to get a hold of. So if you're going to retrofit one of these things or refurbish it, probably the first thing to do is swap those tubes out. The other part is the battery, and he's right over here. It's a 2032, again a standard style watch battery, easy to find in any drugstore, easy to pop out and put back in, and that'll get the thing up and running. There's actually upgrades for the Eproms as well. Mine is upgraded, so I won't be doing that, but you can get brand new Eproms and bring this thing up to 20 megahertz if yours isn't done. Again, order them online. They're not that expensive, and you can completely refurbish this thing back to its original and better. What I'm changing today is that encoder I was talking about right there. I just have to take the wheel off, loosen the nut that's on the top here, and be careful I don't like to scratch the paint, and it pops right out. We're going to take the soldering gun, we're going to loosen off all the solder on all these joints, and this thing will pop out. We're going to pop the new one in, and away we go. Okay, so now for the moment of truth. I've got it plugged in, which by the way you don't want to be doing when you're doing all this work. Make sure there's no power cords or anything attached to it. But now I've plugged it in, let's see what happens. Working nice. There's its nice little country sound.
So as you saw, it wasn't really hard to actually work on it and get it doing what you wanted to do. This one kept changing sounds on me is what the problem was, which was eventually described as the encoder was actually going wonky on it. So inevitably I was looking for a nice clean sound and it was playing this huge distortion and, you know, really kind of wrecked the tune. Now as you can see, it's working fine, playing really nice. It's going back in the rack, going to be used.
There are many more videos on the Dave Forsyth Band channel, so please come on over and subscribe. We've got a few new ones coming up real quick, along with a few live feeds, so don't forget to check back regularly.